Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Once again, it's time for another edition of Star Trek Discovery Rewatch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Everybody's
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It's John, Mitch, and Franco. And we just experienced episode 6 this week. I don't even remember the name of it because I don't give a shit.
Renegades, I think, or something.
Was it called Renegades?
It could have been. Like
Not to be confused with the fine... well, actually, there was the fan film, Star Trek Renegades.
I'm guess. I think it was called. I have it right here.
I think Lorenzo Lamas should have been on this.
It was called. Are you? It should have been called. Are you kidding me? She disobeyed orders again. That should have been the title.
Wayne. I know Wayne talked to us on Facebook message, but away, the freaking show blows.
Don't hold back.
How do you feel about this, Wayne?
I don't disagree with the man. I have to be honest with you.
I got news for you guys. I like the episode.
Mm.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I went into it and disassociated everything about it from Star Trek. It is not a Star Trek show to me anymore. It takes place in the future. They deal with something called Starfleet, but that's an abstract thing. Yeah. So as a non-Star Trek show, it wasn't half bad. Mm-hmm. As a Star Trek show, I wanted to flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
You know, this is a very loaded phrase these days, but I agree with Stuart Greenberg. She's Galactic Mary Sue, Michael Burnham.
Yes.
She is the solution. She is the problem and solution to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep saying it, but all they do is keep reinforcing it in the most ridiculous ways. There are parts of this episode that I liked. But again, at best, I'd give it 4 out of 10 because it annoyed me enough that I still can't give it, or would never give it more than 5. Mm-hmm. But also, I guess because there were parts of it that I didn't mind. But man, they sure kill a lot of people in 1,000 Years from Star Trek continuity, and have no problem with that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't exist.
The head blows up real good. Like I think speaking of John Candy, that's all I could think of when that guy went through that field, and I was like, wow.
Well, that's one of the things that bothered me because they just watched that guy run through the field, and nobody did anything. She didn't do anything. Nope. I know Georgia wouldn't do anything.
When they tested the force field?
When they tested the head explodey thingy.
Yeah.
Michael Burnham didn't do anything. Why? Because she doesn't care about that guy? She seems to care about a lot of other stupid stuff. Why didn't she adopt this puppy guy who was trying to run into the force field all of a sudden?
Well, and also at the end when they were leaving, and it's like, okay, they used the ship's phasers or cannons to vaporize, or liquefy. I think most of those guys just got liquefied. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Andorian frappes being made, I think, on the planet's surface with all the ooze that was left. But That really bothered me. Although I will say, finally, consequences for Michael Burnham and her insubordination. Finally.
Court martial, baby.
She got slapped on the wrist.
That's exactly right. Yeah, a slap on the wrist. I was thinking, remember Spock goes to Talos 4, it's like Planet Forbidden, and he gets in big trouble with the court-martial? Kirk was going to get court-martial that time when they thought he killed that guy.
Do you realize what you did? Have you lost your mind?
And I'm thinking she totally disobeyed not only just a captain's order, but the head of whatever's existing of Starfleet or Federation. They want the Voyager, the Discovery, to go out and be ready to do something, but they can't go because she's off the ship. They got to wait till she comes back. I go, so you've just jeopardized not only everybody's waiting for one person, and they even did that. Need of the many outweigh the need of the few thing. Are you kidding me?
The needs of the mew.
Whatever. But I was just like, get rid of her. And here's the funniest thing. I don't know how clear your TV was, but did you see the tears on her face?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's psychotic. I'm sitting there going, the woman is mentally ill because she's doing this stuff, and then she's crying. It's like, I didn't mean to kill those people and eat them. I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. And then she'll kill somebody tomorrow. I'm like,
all right,
why are you upset?
Good fan comments and questions here. Wayne continues.
Questions. Says, I have answers.
Everybody in Starfleet is stupid. Burnham should be kicked out of Starfleet, and Saru should be stripped of command. And then Dante has a comment and a question. Admiral Vance has been a highlight for me. I agree.
Yes,
I like Admiral Vance. And then he asks, who do we think will be the new number one?
Oh, Tilly.
I agree. I think Tilly too.
She actually got pissed off. Did you see? She mouthed off about it. She's like, you know what?
Yeah, because Burnham's finally pissing her off too.
Yeah,
Burnham is finally getting to her too.
They're not enabling her anymore.
Burnham has no regard for the entire ship. No regard for this crew. None. Yeah. And again, it's like, okay. I don't know why we're supposed to like this person, but okay.
Everybody on the ship loves her, but she's the first one to fuck them all over in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I don't understand.
Because she had a boyfriend.
It's an abusive relationship. It's an abusive relationship, I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's what I said. She's like, oh, screw this. I got to go get my hot piece of ass. What? Who? What?
Yeah, let me stroke Book's chest. I agree with Stuart. Michael's punishment is a demotion of chief science officer.
Here's the thing, too. Why did she have to take off her badge? She's still on the ship. I'm like,
no, it's metaphoric.
You got busted down.
Whatever.
Maybe the new badges have their insignias on them, and she's getting one that says "stupid ass."
Or no, maybe it's like a home prison. She can't get off the ship now, like an ankle bracelet, so she can't beam out. Because you see how they were doing that. That was funny.
I didn't think it was funny the first time. I didn't think it was funny the last time. Oh, I'm sorry.
The turtle guy. I like the turtle guy popping.
Whatever. Yeah. I liked him better when he was sneezing on white guys. But.
Burnham has been doing this since the first episode. That's what we've been yelling about the whole time.
Yes, that she's nothing but insubordinate. Happened in the pilot. Happens all the time.
How many years is this? 3 years now?
3 years.
So she's been a Starfleet officer even longer than that. Was she doing stupid ass stuff before the pilot? Because this is like this has been going on for like 4 or 5 years.
Well, it's like Wayne said that she should be kicked out of Starfleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's why. And also, I will say, and again, one of the reasons why I give it 4 stars in a positive way is, thank God this iteration of Starfleet isn't a bunch of assholes. That they really are doing like the Admiral said. If you came to me with this, I would have said go,
right?
Because that is vital information and we need it. But you didn't trust me,
right?
So
also they didn't tell her because the shitty writers are like, "Ooh, this is how we can end it." I was on my exercise bike watching this stupid thing because I couldn't go outside because of things and outside because it was outside. But anyway, I was on the stupid bike and I'm watching this stupid thing. And 3 seconds into this, where she goes, "I need to go steal the ship and get out of here. Are you going to come with me?" And I'm like, "Ooh, guess who's going to save the day by solving Starfleet's problem the minute she comes back with whatever she does?" I could have written a better episode on my exercise bike. Oh, wait, which I did.
The best thing is she gets off the ship and no one seemed to notice. That's the funnier thing, too. Like when they have like a little breach, like, hey, the shuttle bay doors just opened up. Right. Well, no one caught on, and it's true. It's like, wait, she's not on.
And that big ship that's cloaked in the that's gone now. No one noticed because it was cloaked. I don't understand.
No, it was ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
his book ship or
Book
whatever.
ship, yeah.
yeah.
Book ship.
The Lego ship, because it comes
The
apart and
bookmobile.
go back together again. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, no, you're right about that. I was thinking the same thing. I mean, that's just classic Deep Space Nine, Gen X generation, where a shuttle have just left. Or
Yes,
whatever.
right.
Commander Burnham is not on board. Whatever.
Right. A phaser just got discharged. How?
Dante's got Wayne's got another comment too. So this is 2 Trek shows where a random crew member goes off and does whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But in Disco, at least one of the two I'm going to do what I want types at least got court-martialed in the pilot. The entire Trek brain trust needs to be taken out back. Agreed with that. And then Wayne says, if Burnham was supposed to be a big shot in the Vulcan Science Academy with her scores, why does she act like a spoiled kid who does what she wants? Yes, again, for a human that was raised as a Vulcan, like you guys said, crying, she is always a white knuckle of emotion. Right. And it's just like, where's the Vulcan?
There's no logic to any of her actions, as Mr. Spock would say.
Indeed. Well, and did you notice that the teaser next week, we're gonna get a baby Spock flashback.
Ooh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wait.
Yeah, can't wait till the Vulcans find out. You know what? My buddy Steve tonight, who hates all new Star Trek, he's kind of like us, but he won't even watch it. I was telling him about the new season, and he's like, so do they mention the Borg or anything? I go, no. He goes, wait, they're 900 years in the future. There's no Federation or Starfleet or whatever. And the Borg is no longer a threat anymore, but they were a threat 900 years earlier. I go, dude, don't even go there. He's like, what a stupid show. I go,
where are the Klingons? Where are the Romulans?
That's what he was asking me. And I'm like, they don't mention them. Because we mean they don't mention them. I go, we'll find out eventually. 6 episodes in. Right?
Yeah, if we get a full season and there's no report of what's happening with the Klingons or the Romulans, again, another big FU in terms of, I'm sorry, this doesn't make sense.
Did you give a shit about the Andorian who had his antlers cut off? I'm like, I don't care.
His antlers.
Well, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it's Christmas time, so it counts.
Yeah, and it kept panning to him like it was a big deal that he was.
No, but I am glad that an Andorian is going to be on the ship. Actually, again, one of the few things I did like was that Book is friends with an Andorian. Well, I'm interested. I hope and they probably, again, shame on me. I was about to say, I hope they'll explain how the Orions and the Andorians are now. No, they probably won't do that.
No, they were together. They had an alliance or whatever. So,
well, yeah, but that's all we know. We don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we've known that since the first episode. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
She was actually crying. This bothered me. I'm like, how could she be upset? She was happy to do this, and then she's like, I can't believe you're busting me down. I'm like, he should have just backhanded her and just thrown her off the ship.
Stewart is writing a better episode than what the writers are doing. They're all in a Borg control simulation. Mark my words.
That would be cool.
If only.
At least that's imaginative.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen because
it still wouldn't explain why she's such a dumbass.
You know how we yelled about Mariner on Lower Decks? We used to just scream about Mariner, how stupid she was, and she would do what she wanted, and she didn't give a shit about Starfleet.
Yeah, that's because
this is the live action version of her now, and I'm like, that's the same shit.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I like that show better now because maybe she read Michael Burnham's memoirs, and she's like, oh, look at this dumbass and all the stupid stuff she did. I'm going to do the same thing.
This shit. Exactly.
Anyway,
special Michael Burnham doesn't give a shit award.
What Michael Burnham wouldn't do. Hey, so what did you think about the trill, though? That was okay with her talking to the dead person, whatever you want to call it.
I think it's
I like. What'd you say, Johnny?
I think it's dumb.
You do?
I like the fact that that the person is outside. Like they explained it as like the person's soul. And that mystery intrigues me because I want to know why this happened to her. Why is this happening with this trill? Because we've never seen that before. So that part actually intrigued me.
Because it's a human, obviously, and there isn't a full acceptance of the. Okay. I mean, I don't have an answer.
It's making like a psychotic, bipolar, whatever you want.
No, I think it's a connection in the same way that Jadzia and Ezri had connections to their past lives.
Right.
But because it's a human, it's outside the norm, so it manifests itself this way.
I want a better explanation, though. I don't like
that.
Well,
do you think she's actually vocalizing like she's talking to herself? I mean, I thought it was just like in her head. I didn't think she was actually like, "Oh, really? Well, she do that today?" And they're like, "Oh, maybe she is doing that." And they're like, "Is she okay?"
Whatever.
Really? Come on, they're trying with her, John. It's a new character. They
I
tried.
like.
No, I don't. I honestly don't like. I don't dislike Human Trill. I'm just
Human Trill. We still don't know.
I would have liked it better.
No, we know her name. What's her name, John?
Yeah, there we go. See, we don't know her name.
No, something Adria.
It is like it's Adira or something.
Adira, right? That's it. See, we're good.
Okay, see,
I had to think about it.
Like the guy she was talking to at dinner, like blonde brows is what I call him.
Anthony Rapp, right?
Yeah, blonde brows.
Yeah,
his name's blonde brows.
Well, but he's one of the ones that actually like they used his name, just like Tilly. He's one of the characters that they actually like made sure you knew their name in the first season. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I like blonde brows.
I'm okay with that.
We have nicknames for everybody,
and he's got that Tucker Carlson puzzled look on his face.
Yeah, he does. Oh, I was going to put my subtitles on today because I could not understand what Michelle Yeoh was saying. You know that when when Michelle Yeoh was talking,
you couldn't understand her
dialogue. I'm like, what is she saying?
I know. Again, it's
I cranked the volume up. I'm like, I can't understand what is she going on about.
And I guess David Cronenberg did put some sort of bug in her head, obviously.
Oh, the flashback?
I hope so. I hope it's not a flashback thing from her trauma that she's reliving, because that would just so annoy the hell out of me.
Well, she says it's been going on for months, though.
Gabe Hardman said my track lighting that you can see reflecting and stuff. He's like, you got J.J. Abrams lighting going.
Yeah, I saw you got lens flares in the background.
Lens flares, exactly.
Cool. It's new Trek. Go with it.
Exactly. It's in honor of Shit Trek. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know it's Shit Trek because there's lens flares all over the place.
Wow.
Welcome to Shit Trek.
All right, that's it for this episode.
I know. We'll see you next week, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry. I can't wait for Q to come out of the shower and tell Picard that he had a really bad dream named Discovery. Well, good morning.
Let's see. What were the good parts of the
Patrick
show?
Duffy.
What'd you give it 4 stars for, John? Why?
Because there were a couple things I liked. I like the fact that the Admiral isn't and that Starfleet isn't a bunch of jerks, and that they actually are trying to do good things and not just corrupt.
I liked him from the first time I saw him in the desert.
Oh, and the Mummy movie?
Yeah, the Mummy.
He's got a cool beard. I like that. As the older I get, he's got cool gray hair. It's kind of like
so I like that. I like Book's fine. Book is fine.
Yeah,
for what he does.
The Han Solo guy. Yeah,
he's hot.
Yeah. What?
He's hot.
Yeah, he's
hot. Up with that 3-minute kissing scene? I was just like, okay, they haven't seen each other in a couple months.
That's the I mean, it's just like
they've never done it. Ever.
Oh, you don't think
it's
so?
Like in Picard.
They made a big deal of it the last episode. Like she's like, no, I never did him. No,
she's like, I love him. I mean, I live with him. No, you said love, and I'm like, really?
That's what I'm saying. They overstretch what they think are really important emotional beats. It's like when in Picard, when Romulan brother and Soji were sliding around the Borg cube.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is stupid. What are you doing? And again, just that long drawn out. You're no longer my first officer with really sad music, and it's just like, yeah, who cares?
That ship's got a lot of space on it. You know this? That I was like, wow, they're like in an auditorium having this little argument. Where in the old show they'd be in a turbo lift fight with each other. Like, that's it, Bones, you're done. You're out of here. But
interesting. Okay, if we have time, Oded Fair was amazing in the Showtime show Sleeper Cell. I keep meaning to watch Sleeper Cell. I heard a lot of good things about that show. That's about 10 years old now.
He looks like he could be a villain. He's got that dastardly feel to him.
That's why I liked him in the desert, because he was going to be a villain, but he turned out to be a good guy. Spoilers.
Stuart hates
him. Yeah. They showed that they could detach their nacelles now. I'm like, what for? They don't need them. They got the mushroom drive. That's the care they have nacelles.
And that's honestly, I don't like the convenience of Discovery being the only deep space ship because of this BS. Mycelial, whatever.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys. How far away was Book that she could get back and forth in sublight engines? Because they don't have dilithium. They don't have warp drive. So how far away was he that she just...
He was right over there by the...
I mean, she quickly left the ship, went and got him, and came back and I stopped for breakfast on the way there.
Their concept of distance is completely screwed.
I was like, what the hell? How far off is this?
Again,
I believe that because he sent the ship back for her. So, but it did take 3 weeks to get there. So then, yeah,
Wait a
she
minute.
said that. She said the
She did?
Yeah, the message said that if I'm not back in 24 hours, I'm sending the ship with the cat back to you to find you. And then she says that was 3 weeks ago. This message was 3 weeks ago. So it took the ship 3 weeks to get there, but then she got there in like a day.
Oh, I was going to say, imagine him waiting around for 6 weeks for her to come back.
3 weeks.
Because it was still within the window of them on standby, getting ready to go to that planet.
Holy crap!
I don't know.
I'm surprised Starfleet didn't fire Saru too. They're like, you can't be in charge because you
well, that's what one said.
You're out of here.
You can't do basic math functions.
And also, honestly,
if this was Trump, he would have fired him already by now.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think they retrofitted the ship with new controls.
Yeah, I saw that. Ooh.
Yeah. But then they still have the old crew learning the new tech. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, okay, we're gonna have a new, we're gonna reassign you so that you can get up to speed. That was my assumption, and that makes sense. But no, we got to keep the crew and everything. Okay, fine, but we're still gonna retrofit your stuff. Like that's giving the guy with the horse and buggy, a Trans Am, and it's like, here's the key. You'll know what to do. All right, I guess
they'll figure it out. It's fine.
Figured out the horn.
Start knocking into the other ships. Ooh, crap! Sorry.
All the
Galaxy Quest.
All the clocks on Discovery keep blinking 12 o'clock. They're like, how do you fix it? I don't know. It's like 12 o'clock. You got to reset the dial.
Oh, you got to use the goo. You got to use the goo to fix it.
As Dante points out, it was all expedited due to, once again,
shitty writing.
Bad writing. Indeed.
You know what somebody said this sounded like? Remember the X-Files? Like every season, we're shutting the X-Files down. And after a while, you're like, they do this every other week. Michael Burnham's disobeying orders and doing what she wants. She just did that 20 minutes ago. It's like, there's no character development for somebody who just keeps doing this.
Thank you. Well,
years now.
But also,
doing it before.
It ignores an entire crew of characters to just keep telling the same story.
Have you seen my name?
Yeah, that's Wayne's right. If you can retrofit the ship, why can't you replicate the spore drive technology?
Look at my name.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, the guy from
what's his name?
You see, they even got rid of those things that he had on his arms that he controlled the spore drive with.
Yeah, no character development because we don't even know what's his name from the bridge. We don't know.
That is weird in terms of. Okay, Adira knows how to get rid of Stamets's insulin graft or whatever his insulin pump.
His patch. He's on the nicotine.
Right.
Yeah.
But
having trouble hearing.
The experimental sport drive is
must be deaf.
That's too techy. I don't know. I also love the liquid matter that forms a bed whenever you need one.
Yeah, that was cool. That's like a water bed.
That's another thing. That's another point in my book.
Now that's awesome because you don't need no blow up dolls. I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
It's as they say in Doctor Who. It's like cup of soup. You just add water and hey, there's a bed. Fantastic. And a very nice bed.
And it's got all that goo, Mitch. It's got all that goo, so you're fine.
It was nasty. I was thinking about that.
And it doesn't leave any residue.
I was just thinking you have to wipe your hands, and you're like, who's been touching this?
It's like M&M's. It melts in your mouth, not in your hands. That's fantastic.
But they had an old phaser. Did you notice when they were showing the old art relics? He's like, I'll trade this tricorder. I have this like phase.
I have a tricorder. It's still
next generation. You've got dilithium, and they're all like
drooling about it. I apologize if anyone was offended by that, but it's just Michelle Yeoh, the man. Like I don't know exactly how to say this. I'm going to say it anyway, and it's like, all right.
Yeah, she wraps her mouth around some words that her tongue must be in traction for a week.
But again, I've seen her in interviews speak perfect English, so I'm very confused by the whole
It's a character trait.
I guess.
She's acting.
Man.
You say you have diarrhea.
The words leaving her mouth, like the actual hard letters are forming her mouth in a weird contortion.
Like I said, it's hurting her to pronounce the word.
That Q really is hard to get my tongue around.
Michael. She even says Michael kind of strange sometimes, too.
Wait a minute.
You're terrible now.
What else? Wayne's got a couple of comments. She could change the Sport Drive interface, but can't replicate the Sport Drive Indeed.
That's true.
And then this episode blew hairballs. Yes,
wow.
yes, it did. The cat, from a fat cat.
There were no.
Oh, they had the
yeah,
cat
there
on
was
the
a
show.
cat. Yeah, okay, yeah.
They were
All right,
all in
that
love
makes
with
more
the
sense.
cat. Oh,
I'm
look
gonna
at
give you
the
that one.
cat.
Wait.
The cat. There, that's my invitation to
It's Book's cat. Yeah.
which is like a small child. It is very big.
Like it's their Baby Yoda. They need to get a Baby Yoda thing.
I was going to say, like, the cat is much more effective than number one was in Picard.
That's the other thing. What's her face?
Yeah.
Redhead, bushy hair.
Tilly.
Tilly.
Yes. See, now I can't. I'm not remembering anybody's name.
No, I can always remember Tilly because she annoys me.
Eyepiece, there's Dreadlock Lady, there's Asian guy.
And there's Debbie Downer, the blonde.
By the way, man, every time I
excited.
see Debbie Downer, I am thrilled and immediately think, Debbie Downer.
They're like, oh, look, we have all this new technology. And she's like, yay.
Has she been on the bridge crew like the entire time?
No,
right?
Only this year I noticed. I'm like, where did she come from?
You know what we need? We need another woman on the bridge. Okay. And that's fine. Don't get me wrong. But
Don't start me with that. Yeah.
But Tilly Redhead was afraid of cats and doesn't like cats, but she was all over that cat.
I know
the cat's on her. She's holding the cat. What's going on here? Again, did anyone do any research on this show at all?
See, if we were in a politically correct world now, I would go to town on some of these people. But I don't say those things, so I'm not going to say anything. But
Dante makes a good point, and it's true. You know, I'm now officially 2 episodes behind. I'm going to have a big Mandalorian weekend catching up.
Oh, at least that's a good show.
I've always loved Trek more than Star Wars over the years, but Mandalorian blows Disco and Lower Decks out of the water, and Picard, which, with how great it is in comparison, it's basically a variation of Lone Wolf and Cub, but Jon Favreau makes it a better show, hands down, 100%.
Yes.
I call Discovery that shitty space show I have to watch before I can get to the Mandalorian. It's like, Friday's Mandalorian. Oh, Thursday's Trek. Oh, God.
Oh, that's... Stuart says Debbie Downer's a glitch in the Borg simulation.
They should have that sax sound every time she's like, "Oh, the shields are wah wah."
Yep.
And they're all they're in that kitchen eating whatever. Did they get like a new replicator too with the new technology? I was like, why not?
Yeah, it spits out the goo and then forms a thingy like the bed.
And then Dr. Smiley was on there talking to first
Stamets, blonde eyebrows,
blonde brown.
The guy can't deliver any lines without smiling. It's like, your whole family was just killed. Isn't that great? I mean, I get it. He's a happy guy, but I mean, I have, my wife's laughing too, but we don't sit there. Isn't it great? COVID. We're locked in for 6 months.
The most incompetent medical staff of any Star Trek show.
Well, he died. Give him a break. The guy was dead.
That's true.
He got better.
You're right. Exactly. Thank you, Monty Python. He got better. Exactly. I got better.
Yeah, he's just happy to be alive. So that makes sense.
Is correct, and I was going to point this out as well. The cat is smarter than the entire bridge crew.
It's a cat from outer space. I saw that movie when I was a kid with McLean Stevenson and Harry Morgan, The Cat from Outer Space.
That's true.
Who knew?
There you go.
This is him. This is the cat.
It's Scott. He's all over again.
Thomasina. The 6 lives or the
is this the worst episode
of
the season? I thought you were going to go to town on this. I said, "I'll wait till the season." Is this the worst episode so far this season?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
They had the fight in the saloon, which was pretty good, and then they had the whole Trill thing where she saved the day again, which was okay.
Yes, this was the worst episode of the season, John.
I mean, how bad is it?
Except your guys' feelings on that. I'm still just kind of racking my brain right now.
No,
what did they do so far this year? The ship was lost,
and then it was found.
No, but
they got stuck in the ice.
No, I mean, I mean,
and they found Starfleet.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I would say half of it really sucks, but like other halves were, like other episode halves were okay. And I mean, that's where I am. Like, I'm like,
maybe they're trying not to do.
The Saru family dinner episode.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like an old.
Yeah, no, this one sucked more.
Okay.
No, I was going to say, so with the big story arc that they should be, what's caused the burn? That's the big overall story.
Right.
But they're trying to do episodic episodes, oh, look, standalone. It's just not working.
But Johnny, you're arguing over it's a race to the bottom with these episodes.
100%. No. But no, I'm just really thinking about all.
How bad could it be this week?
Right.
Tune in.
Because the first episode really pissed me off with the Space Mall and Burnham stoned on whatever interrogation drug they had.
See, that bothered you more than us, but this one sucked because
the second one was probably the best with the whole saloon with Saru and the.
Yeah, but there
was more Star Trek-y. Yeah.
Well, but I do think this season slowly is becoming more Star Trek-y.
How?
Well, I mean, again,
by sucking? No.
By getting rid of her?
But the Federation acted more like the Federation as opposed to
you know how it would
seasons of Discovery. So I would say that's a vote in their favor. I like Adira. I do like Adira, and I do like her complication, and that's great. We've got a new character, and it's actually a positive one. I don't dislike Book.
I just had an epiphany of who Michael Burnham is, and you're never going to believe this. She's the J.J. Abrams James T. Kirk. You know how Kirk in the Star Trek movie was running around disobeying
not playing by the rules? Sure.
Yeah, and then Spock banished him to the planet that just so happened to have the old Spock on it.
Yeah, but that movie was good.
No, but I'm saying maybe that's the template they're using, that she's this hothead that can't take orders and this maverick and
sure.
Maybe if it was a guy, I'm not being sexist, but if it was a male character, we'd be like, yeah, don't kick an ass and
you know what would make this show more like Star Trek is if they wrote the fucking thing like it was a Star Trek show. They're not writing it like a Star Trek show.
They don't have a prime directive. They don't have those overriding rules that you can't violate the prime directive.
That's fine, but still, there's the simple things. There's no through storyline. There's no character development. Michael Burnham has been doing the same shit for 3 years. It's stupid. He's
a bad character. Yeah.
I agree with Dante.
Who's David Ajala?
That's Book. So he's saying that the Admiral from Starfleet and Book have been the highlights of the season. So
just like last year, Pike and Number One were the best thing of the thing.
Loved Pike. Pike. Loved it.
Sure.
Can't wait to get a whole show of that.
It's the first time I lost it at the beginning of the episode.
Why? What specific?
What part?
Was it her leaving?
Wayne texted us yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it because he had good observations.
I can't believe it was a surprise to anybody that she left the ship to go get him. I'm like, why did we even bother putting a scene in where she asked permission to leave? Just, she's going anyway.
Wayne from yesterday goes, okay, I'm about 10 minutes into tonight's episode, and I really don't understand why Burnham wants to be a Starfleet officer. And I agree with that. It is, literally that basic of, it's like, why did you join Starfleet? Because you
got a good
clearly
plan.
Can't follow. No, you can't. They got a good dental plan. You can't follow orders. No, they don't have good. They don't have good medical, or they don't have good medical staff. They might have good insurance.
That's true. Yeah,
you got Doc Culver. Hey, you're fine. Go back to work.
Okay. Hey, Reno wasn't on this week. I was hoping she'd show up. I'm like, Lisa.
Which one?
Now it's bad if you're looking forward to seeing her.
Who?
But we can remember her name, Jet Reno.
Oh yeah, Jet Reno.
Jet Reno. Yeah.
But why can we remember her name and not Blonde Brow?
Because she's actually created a character.
By the way,
that's what I'm talking about.
She's Fish from Barney Miller on Star Trek.
Yeah,
that's fine. But that's fine.
You should know her name. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Wayne has a comment on your Kirk comparison there. The problem with your J.J. Kirk Burnham theory is that Burnham was raised on Vulcan, so she should not. Again, this trained Vulcan is impulsive and insubordinate, and that's not Vulcan.
But see, that's what
why
I'm talking
Spock
about.
Doesn't say he knows her. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Spock's like,
but that's what I'm talking about.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody
never met her.
Everybody's argument is that this is the new Star Trek. It's a new kind of Star Trek. But if you're basing it on the pillars of Star Trek, you've already set up what a Vulcan is.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, but you've already set up what a Vulcan is. She's spent all this time, and she's Spock's sister, for crying out loud. And then she does all of this crap all the time. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't follow through with me. The storylines don't follow through. Yeah, the storylines don't follow through. The character developments don't follow through. Except for the few things that we've talked about, like the Pike and stuff like that. I've disliked every year of Discovery so far.
I thought this year was going to be different because it was a clean slate. I said, they're going to be 1,000 years in the future. They're going to get rid of all the continuity problems.
But guess what? They followed through with the stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. The only
She's
thing
the same character.
it's
Yeah.
all the wrong things. Yes.
Never learned anything. That year alone she was without the ship, you figured, oh, she might have learned
About that
to
year.
depend on people.
See,
She
but
was
I'd be okay with it if the first 2 seasons she wasn't anything like this, and then the year alone has made her this. That's
rogue.
the
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah.
Why did this happen? Why is she like this? She's been on her own for a year. She's had to survive. She doesn't trust anybody, even her old crew. That I would buy. This crap I don't buy at all.
No.
You sound like a guy who writes coherent stories, man.
I'm really. I may finally get to the point where it's like I don't give a shit about Star Trek anymore. I really hope not, because I do love. I still. I literally. I'm reading the IDW comics. I'm reading the novels that they make.
Yeah.
I constantly seek YouTube explorations of previous Trek continuity,
Mm-hmm.
and there's tons of it. Thank God. So I still love the Star Trek universe. I just don't like this shit. And I mean, and I can honestly say the same thing about Doctor Who. And Doctor Who just finally pissed me off enough that I'm like,
I didn't watch this whole last
stopped watching.
season. Yeah,
I didn't
I
watch
did
last
too.
season. I caught the final episode,
Mhm.
and I told you guys that's what happened to me with Smallville. I just couldn't watch it week to week because it was just annoying me. So
Yeah.
I watch the cliffhanger and the first episode of the next season to know what's going on.
That
Like,
yeah.
all right, I'll see you at the end of.
All
I'll
the
see you in May when
CW
they wrap
shows.
this up.
When
Same thing.
Smallville came out, I watched the first episode, and then I read an interview with the producers that are like, "Our Superman is never going to wear a cape," and I
Right.
did not watch any other episode until the last episode. I watched the
It's-
first episode and the last episode, and that was it.
I stuck with it for 10 years and I look back and wonder why. But no, I stayed around. I'm
Well,
one of those.
I came back for the
people.
final year. I came back for the final year, but years 7 and 8, I pretty much stayed away from, and 9, I dipped in and out because the Zod storyline intrigued me.
Yeah.
But
that was confusing.
But yeah, I mean, they just the it was sad because the Luther Lana Clark triangle was interesting, and then it got really weird and icky and
Yeah.
stalky, which I thought was
And
strange.
then Luther left the show, and you're like,
Well,
that's that.
yes.
He
And
said,
Lana-
"Look, I'm going."
And Lana
And
left the show.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is how good this season of Star Trek is, that we're talking about
Other
Smallville and Mandalorian at every turn, other than this show.
When I do the reviews of Outer Limits, when we
Hmm.
when we hit a lousy episode, this is what happens with
We
Gabe
start
and
talking about
everybody.
big shows.
We start talking
Or
about other
other
shows.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, we'll much like we do here with Discovery, we'll talk about actors that are in like The Mummy and stuff.
You
So,
know
yeah,
what?
you know.
I had lunch with Ordway yesterday, and I told him we were going to record tonight because you sent the text we could do it. He goes, "Are you guys just going to get together and shit on Star Trek?" I go, "You don't understand. We don't get together and go, let's think of new ways to shit on it. We
don't have
actually
to.
watch this, hoping it's going to be something entertaining that we could go, oh, this is
Amen.
cool." But
Amen.
every week, we don't make it out to be negative, but it just does it to itself. It's like,
Is
do you
Jerry
think I want to waste an hour? He doesn't watch it. He watched the first season, and I don't think he watched the second season. But
but he was a Trek fan. He was a Trek
oh yeah. That's why he's
You know-
asking me what's happening, and I'm telling him. He goes, "That doesn't sound like a Star Trek show." I go,
I mean, it's reason 100 of 100 reasons why I wish Marty Pasco was still with us.
"Hmm,
But honestly, I would love to know Marty's opinion of this stuff. And also, I'm going to talk to Bob Greenberg.
"Oh,
People-
Bob knows. He wrote the comics. He's a Star Trek
Oh yeah,
guy.
oh no,
He's a
and he
Star
wrote-
Law guy too."
absolutely. No, I love talking to Bob. Bob's amazing. And he's got another great coffee table book now, 100 Greatest Flash Moments.
Oh, I was going to tell you, I do have a bunch of Star Trek book news if you want to get into
Go
that.
for it.
Not book on the show, but actually book.
I'm
Did
with
you know this was the 25th anniversary of Voyager this year? I did
I
not.
might
know.
have heard that. But that's cool.
There's a whole book out called Voyager Celebration, a big coffee table book, where they interview the whole cast, and Seven of Nine does a big, lengthy thing about her character. But you could read it, the excerpt about Jerry Ryan, if you go to StarTrek.com. They have like 7 or 8 pages of her interview. So if you're into Voyager, you can check that out.
Well, is it warts and all, or
It comes out November 25th, so it's not out till Tuesday.
but is it warts and all, or is it the official? You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's on StarTrek.com, that it's a licensed.
I'm sure it's a license thing.
Well,
Yeah.
but like the 50-year mission, that great Mark Altman book that he
Mhm.
co-wrote, is not authorized, and he gets real interviews with the cast, and the people that didn't get along are very vocal about, why we didn't like so and so, and it's very interesting because they're, especially Voyager had a really, Robert Beltram really didn't have a good time, and by the end was kind of bummed
Yeah.
with the way they were writing Chakotay, and certainly we know Kate Mulgrew resented Jerry Ryan for a long time and was really loud, and she even admits that she behaved badly to Jerry Ryan.
I heard Mulgrew
Or
hated
Jerry Ryan, yeah.
Yeah, Mulgrew's. I heard. I don't know if this is true that she hated Star Trek because it led to her divorce. She had so much trouble with the show. She had a little, bringing it home and fighting. I had heard that she got divorced and she wasn't thrilled.
I have her book. It's so funny. It literally is behind me and on a table behind my couch.
Well, I don't know if there's credence to that. I just had heard that she had a lot of trouble.
She probably hated it so much she'll never do another Star Trek show. Oh yeah, that's right, she is.
No, well, there's a Janeway autobiography of the character that's also out. So there's a lot of because it's holiday time and they're pumping the Star Trek stuff out. I could tell because there's a Star Trek martini book, like 40 recipes of Star Trek cocktails taken from the entire series. I'm like, how many different drinks were there? But apparently,
give me a Tuvok, shaken not stirred.
They said Dr. Boyce's drinks that he was serving Captain
Yes, that's what he does in the cage. And
the recipe is in there. You could learn how to make a drink like
I like it. Dr. Boyce, honestly, I really hope on the Pike show we've got an old doctor and it's Boyce because John Hoyt, the actor that plays Boyce, a great character actor. He's in one of my favorite Twilight Zones. Will the Real Martians stand up when they're in the diner? And that
was him. Who was he? The guy with the eye in his head?
No, he's the three-armed Martian, and then the other guy is the guy. Yeah, guess what? We're from Venus here. How you doing?
I didn't recognize him. Oh, and then the Wisdom of Picard is coming out based on the new Picard.
All right, I assume that wisdom ended with season 7 of. Isn't the wisdom of Star Trek Picard?
If you buy anything on Amazon.com all month long for over $25, you get digital comics from IDW. Which is
that's nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Dante says if they're anything like the Quark bar drinks, I'll buy it. Yeah, man.
That's in here. Yes, Dante.
The Vegas Hilton. I wonder if they have the Warp Core Breach drink, which was this great rum punch that they would serve over dry ice so it would smoke like a Warp Core Breach. Good stuff.
Did you know there was an IDW Discovery comic book? Did you interview it?
Yes.
Or was it as bad as the TV show?
I haven't. No, and again, it was interesting. During the JJ film period, I liked the Kelvin Universe comics because Mike Johnson was writing them. Mike Johnson, who both is a good comic book writer and worked in JJ's office, and he did a great job fleshing out the Kelvin cast and making the stories fit more. And they acted more like the traditional characters that they were based on, obviously. So I like those. I really hate Discovery so much. I haven't read the IDW comics. I'm suppressing burps as I'm talking to you right now.
I thought you were just throwing up talking about Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought you were having
vomit in the back of my throat when I talk about Discovery. But no, I mean, Star Trek Year 5 is a fantastic IDW series about the original crew.
Yes,
and I told you, God, my buddy Dave Baker is writing that great Voyager comic right now, and about 7 and everything.
Oh yeah, the 7 of 9 Reckoning thing.
Yeah, 7's Reckoning. Yeah, I mean, so no, there. I mean, there's. That's what I'm saying. Like, so thank God there's enough. Is it apocrypha? When they talk about non-canon,
like Star Trek 5, they call that in a film. It's there, but it's not really part of the canon.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard that they don't.
Oh no, I heard Roddenberry referred to Final Frontier as an apocryphal.
He was
story.
dead by then.
I know, but no, he wasn't. Not for number 5.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because you're right. You're right.
Yeah, they dedicated 6 to him.
You are correct because 6 is tied to unification. Yes. Not 5. Excuse me.
So 7, 8, 9.
So he said 5 was not part of the Star Trek world.
Yes, that's interesting. Well, again, my challenge to current Star Trek writers is: if you're going to invent a sister, then I want a dinner scene with Spock, Cybok, and Burnham.
Maybe Discovery's not part of the Star Trek universe.
That time will tell. Time will tell.
Hey, man.
Someday, Kurtzman and company will not have control over this shit, and we'll see how it's regarded in the future. I honestly don't know. Oh, Wayne bragging right now. He's got a Quark Spar shot glass.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I wish I saved my Romulan ale bottles. My buddy got them from years ago from the bar.
Awesome.
But I threw them out.
Romulan ale. I've got the Blu-rays of the Shatner stuff from Shout Factory. I haven't sat down to watch them because I've already seen the films, but I do want to watch the special features to see what stuff was not included in the final cuts of these Shatner documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. Ordway was talking about in the 80s being at San Diego Comic-Con, and he said he met Jimmy Doohan, Walter Koenig, Nichelle Nichols, and Grace Lee Whitney, and he was talking about how nice they were because this is before the autograph world exploded and everything was $100. And he goes, no, they were really genuine, friendly actors. And I'm like, yeah, because they were, I don't know what happened in the 90s, but he said back then they were like normal people. They did their job. They didn't have millions of dollars, but they were cordial and polite to people and the fans and such. And then it's just become a crazy world now. I don't even think the people on Star Trek know they're on Star Trek. Like if you took these folks and brought them to a convention and asked, Debbie Downer or the other lady to describe her character, they would look at you like, I don't know. I have no idea. There's no backstories. There's no mythology onto this new show. It's just called Star Trek. They just slapped the name on it.
All we know is Detmer's got post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
That's about it. Otherwise, everybody's, Tilly's a little homesick.
Tilly.
Hi, Sarge.
I try to like Tilly as a character because I think she's
didn't.
kind of funny, but I can't stand her. As soon as I see her, I go, ugh.
And also, Rob Burnett was killing me, and I hadn't seen the episode yet. But when Adira tells Stamets, you're like the bomb, and it's so nice to see that the bomb,
the 1980s technology,
or just
lingo,
that phrase has survived into the 31st century. That's terrific.
Not only 1,000 years, but like 1,500 years from now.
Okay.
When she told him to sit on it, I was freaking out.
All right, Mario taking a page from us and saying that yesterday's episode wasn't horrible, but this week's Mandalorian and the Great British Baking Shows were mighty fine. That's great, Mario. Thanks a lot thanks for playing.
Awesome.
Thanks for playing.
Directed by Carl Weathers this week.
Yes, I heard. Stay out of my face, chump.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we could be done.
No, you know what? It's sad, because I know.
Any other news?
No, I was looking up that stuff before we started just to have something.
I appreciate that. I know you gave us something positive.
No, because I knew we were going to hate this week's episode, so I'm like, it's not going to take long to shit on.
We can talk about Voyager for a second. We may as well. There's a couple comments here. Stuart Michael Burnham was raised on Vulcan. Oh, wait a minute. And then Wayne, the actress who plays Tilly, is a big geek.
Oh, is she?
And knew that I was dressed up as a Star Trek Rick from Rick and Morty. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool.
Okay.
That's nice.
I like Doug Jones. He's a great actor.
Sure.
He probably knows it. And Michelle Yeoh is a good actress.
Again, it's not the actors; it's the material.
It's the script.
Because I know Sanina Martin Green is a great actor.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
But it's a shit show. I mean, what are you going to do? Shit writing.
It looks nice. I noticed my picture was really crisp and clean. I was like, wow, look how pretty
it looks amazing. It's all about the writing. And again, they just don't know what the hell they're doing. So
if you had to go back and look at the original 3 seasons of Star Trek, and they had some shitty episodes there.
Sure they did.
Is their shittiest episode better than any of these?
Yes.
Like Spock's brain and
yes. Well, first of all, a lot of people shit on Spock's brain.
You like
I like Spock's brain. I think it's funny. And also, I love the McCoy surgery.
Yeah, I'm forgetting.
The whole thing. Sutures.
How do I do this? I don't know.
I love it.
That was good. All right.
And I like when he's...
What's the worst one? What's the worst Star Trek episode?
The one with Melvin Belli with the children.
Really?
I think that's a bad one.
Not Mary. What's
the guy... I think it's called "And the Children Will Lead" or something like that.
Yeah, Angel.
Right.
They summon him there.
So that's one really bad one, I think. And by the way, feel free in the chat, kids, to join us in.
That scared the hell out of me though as a kid when his face got all distorted at the end. He was like a devil.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Another bad.
But that one's better than a Discovery episode.
Yes.
I was going to say this is the worst Star Trek one, the Discovery one I just watched.
What's another bad original series?
Like they didn't even try this week. They were like, "Yeah, we got to get Book back on the ship. We'll just do a jailbreak."
Okay, Wayne says the hippie episode sucked balls again.
Oh,
stepping out to
the apple. I just got a
brother.
Leap and jump for joy. I just got a clean bill of health from Dr. McCoy, Charles Napier, right
Charles
there.
Napier, absolutely. I like when Charles Napier and Spock are jamming, and Spock's on the Vulcan lyre, and then Charles Napier's grooving a lot.
Yeah,
and I like Chekhov's hippie girlfriend.
Yeah, man.
So and it's gross when cauliflower ears burn his feet.
Yes. He eats the apple, he dies.
Yep.
But that was a bad episode. Not really. I think they're all fun in a way. Like they don't make sense. Like the whole when they go to the planet and they have the Declaration of Independence, Pleg Neeson.
I love that episode.
I love that episode, but it makes no sense. Like the Yangs and the Coms. Don't you see it? It's the communists.
Speaking the sacred words from the sacred scrolls.
Yeah. These words were made for everyone, not just the Coms and the Yangs.
The Yangs and the Coms, they gotta work together. And Crazy Captain Stacy, I love that.
I love it. Nothing better than a Canadian telling us American history. I love watching that stuff because he says it so perfectly.
Speaking of which, all right, here's a Star Trek tangent. I was watching the Baseball Network last weekend, and they had an hour long, history of the Montreal Expos, narrated by William Shatner.
Oh, there you go.
And it was great. It was fantastic.
It was probably a half hour, but the way he talks, it made it an hour-long thing. It's like, they came to play baseball.
I disagree, Stuart. Space Nazis, original series Space Nazis, I love. Enterprise Space Nazis, not so much.
When did they have Nazis on Enterprise?
The end of the third season and the beginning of the fourth season. When they finished the temporal Cold War, and that was the shitburger they left for Manny Cotto. It's like, yeah, Braga and Rick Berner, and they're not going to show run anymore. We're going to give you a space Nazi cliffhanger. See ya. And it's like, and even Manny Cotto's like, yeah, thanks. Let me wrap this up.
Was that the third season when they did that whole season-long story about how they go into the cloud on Star Trek Enterprise? Was that the third season?
The Xindi War, you're saying?
Was that what it was? The Xindi War. Yeah. I see. That's where I didn't like that show. I liked the first two seasons. I hated the third season because it was so interconnected.
Sure.
Nonsense. I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
The fourth season, they righted the ship, I thought, on Enterprise.
Yeah, they were good.
And they would tell those 2 and 3 part episodes. They were like mini movies.
Oh, when they talked about the Klingons and Dr. Sung.
Everything.
Yeah, it was. John Shuck showed up again as the ambassador. I'm like,
and also they had
canceled.
What's that?
And it got canceled.
Well, because UPN lost faith in the show, and that's despite their.
Is that what happened?
Hard. Yes. But also, no, it was too late. I mean, the ratings were down. I thought the first season was okay, but they were trotting on familiar territory, and it was a copy of a copy of a copy in terms of Voyager was a copy of Next Gen and Enterprise and all. I mean, as I think we've talked about before here, Braga and Berman wanted to do different things from Enterprise. The first season they wanted to keep on Earth and literally end it with them going into deep space at the end of season 1. But they're, UPN's like, no, you gotta stick to the formula. And that's lousy. That's a shame because it really was an opportunity to kind of explain Earth politics and galaxy politics.
Right.
And again, this is my frustration. And I'm sorry, even though they may have lost direct contact in Back to Discovery because of their lack of warp capability, I'm sorry, there's subspace, there's communication. I would think they could hopscotch from station to station to get word back to Starfleet, wherever it's centrally located. And again, I want to know what's happening in this galaxy. It's a big fucking galaxy. And I don't believe that they'd be totally cut off from each other the way they're presenting it, but whatever.
You just said how UPN was calling the shots on Enterprise. Who is running the big picture here on Discovery? I mean, are they reporting to anybody? Is it CBS. I mean, who's?
Well, and now it's CBS Viacom, but yeah, I mean, the new woman that took over. There's a woman that's in charge of Star Trek in general again.
Yeah,
and supposedly she's looking very carefully at what Kurtzman and company are doing.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
she came in after they had shot season 3 of Discovery. So I don't know, but
so whatever impact she has, we're not going to see for a year or so. Whenever they go into season 4, this is done. I mean,
Wayne wants to know what you're drawing tonight, Francis.
He's drawing the back.
I'm drawing some comic stuff.
Nice. Langley, hey, good to see you, Langley. The Zindi art.
I might draw after this show too, maybe online. Who knows?
Oh, I think that was his question because he's like, "What are you going to draw tonight?"
Oh, I don't know.
So, are you joining Artie? Are you guys going to be jamming online?
Oh, I don't know. I talked to him earlier because we had some interviews to do for Arkham Maniacs, which comes out. I'll plug stuff since I'm here.
Please.
So this comes out the first week of January.
Stand by. Hold on.
Where is it?
I'm slow. Wait.
Tiny Titans, Beast Boy, Raven. This comes out. It's reprint material, but it's a nice, nifty little digest book for people who haven't read it. And then this comes out in a couple weeks.
Nice.
December 8th. So we were doing press stuff for Arkham Maniacs.
Oh, great. Hey, obviously, you guys should come on Word Balloon and we should talk about that.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Duh.
Yes, we can. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And then I've been working. I haven't been online between school stuff and I'm working on another 2 DC projects, so that's been keeping me pretty busy.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. This is nice. Langley says, "I bought your books on Comixology, Franco."
Oh,
like them.
Thank you, Langley.
That's nice. Okay.
I was getting concerned because we hadn't heard from Langley yet. So
Mario says, "Do you think Burnham will rejoin Starfleet by the end of next episode, or will they do something crazy and make it last 2 episodes before they all ugly cry and welcome her back with a group of?" She's still in Starfleet.
Yeah.
No. I was thinking, what could she possibly do? What would happen to the ship where they're going to turn to her? There's going to be an episode towards the season finale where everybody's decimated, everyone's gone, Saru, everybody, and they're going to need her to come back and save.
She's not going anywhere. What do you come back? She's still on the ship.
I'm saying there's going to be something like every competent officer on that ship is going to be fucked up.
Of course, dude. Because again, this is
the start of the show.
This is like playing with someone that's playing poker, and it's like they show their hand.
Yeah.
I mean, so we know that's what's.
So they're not. There's no tension in this that she got busted down to janitor in the engine room because we're all like, okay, give it about 3 episodes and she'll be right back where she started again. So.
Well, give it 2 episodes, and I'm sure she'll be Admiral of Starfleet in no time.
Yeah. Mommy guy will step down.
If her mirror universe, if her mirror universe character came onto the ship and they killed this Michael.
Well, we don't know for sure, but I thought her character's dead.
I know, but I'm saying at this point, it would be cool if we got a different version of her just to try to salvage it.
What I wanted to happen was, and again, not knowing that they were going to go into the future, was that they'd find the real Lorca.
That'd be
Jason Isaacs' character from season
1.
And then find regular universe Lorca. And I thought that would have been interesting. But, of course, once again, we write better episodes than these.
Yeah, I know. Fan fiction is better than the real thing.
Okay. They're all turned into kids like Next Generation's Rascals.
That was fun.
I like Rascals better because I like Patrick Stewart's kid playing himself. Number 1, do you think?
Remember when on Next Generation they were reverting back to animals? Picard was going to become a lemur.
That's one of the worst Next Generation episodes.
But still better than this. I am going to be de-evolving into a ring-tailed lemur. I'm like, what?
When Worf had the venom,
in his neck,
and he hissed venom at Troy and it hurt her face.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. That and also the one from the first season with the creepy crawlies that were in the back of their necks.
Oh yeah, that was. I always hoped they were back to that. Yeah. You know what I'm just thinking too? If they were all wiped out, all the dilithium, and my buddy said it tonight with the Borg, does that mean all the Borg ships were destroyed, or what powers those things? They had a transwarp drive.
Again, there are so many alternatives to dilithium that has been in the canon of Star Trek that, we don't have dilithium. It's like, Okay, but you've been exposed to a million other technology
Yeah,
that you brought into the Federation. There have been, like, they had that Voyager grab
yeah.
that one Borg thing that let them
There was like
jump
a glow.
several light years.
I was just thinking that. Like, didn't they like go like thousands of light years or something in one episode because they got some technology?
That's right.
They jumped
Yes.
25 years closer to home or something. There was an episode like that. But of course, Voyager hasn't happened yet because Discovery's in the past, but there's no ship's logs
No, but now they're in the
anywhere.
But no, but that's the thing, man. No, it's 600 years past Voyager's continuity where they are now. That's what I'm saying. The problem existed in the 30th century.
Right.
That's 600 years after Voyager. So therefore, they would have access to Borg opening wormhole.
See, it would be a better instead of dilithium getting wiped out, if there was like an EMP pulse that wiped out all of Starfleet records, then it might be a better story because you're like, well, we don't have like just now on the
Right.
Earth. If they wiped out everything, we had no more
I live
computers.
in
You'd be like,
constant fear of that.
we're screwed because there's nobody could read a book anymore or write longhand. But that would be an interesting premise. Again, a better story than what we're getting.
EMP. I don't know how to write my name anymore.
They should get those stupid people to come back.
Oh,
It broke, you fix those guys.
back they were on. They were on.
Yeah, we're on
Lower Decks.
lower decks, but I'm saying they should be the ones behind the dilithium thing. Like
Our ships don't go.
they actually
should go.
they had some shit they stole. Like, oh, we know how to fix. It's such a bad show, but we watch it, Johnny, because we'd support you. I thought
think
about
it's
that,
great,
Franco and I. This
I
is
know.
a support group because you're about to jump off a building because you hate this. So
I know
bad.
you guys are keeping.
We show up every week to like, it's okay, man.
It's okay, John.
Say
Exactly.
the Lord's Prayer, hold our hands, and we'll give you a 5-week chip.
A Star Trek prayer circle.
Yeah, it'll be okay. You can
Can I
go
have a
back and watch.
promise, right?
Yeah, you can go watch Outer Limits. It's okay.
Seriously, just like you with Mandalorian. Honestly, man, I can watch Outer Limits, and it's like, God, it is so nice to watch a well-written show. It's also.
I got to talk to you later. I'm going to do a documentary. I'm going to be part of a documentary about the Star Wars Holiday Special produced by the guy who's the son of the fellow who made all the Bob Hope specials for NBC.
Is it Steve Bender? Is Steve Bender's son?
No, that was the director of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Right.
No, this guy's name is Steve. That's why when you said that, I went, how do you know? But no, they just did a press release about it this week.
Cool.
And I don't have an NDA, so I could talk about it. So,
I did an interview with Steve Bender, and we talked about not only the holiday special, but also the millions of hours of variety television he made, and also he directed my favorite '60s concert movie, The Tammy Show, the black and white film of it was a combination of British and American acts, and James Brown was there, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys. And that's
Tammy,
that famous concert where James Brown went on before the Rolling Stones and totally blew everybody away with his dancing and singing.
Uh-huh.
And the Rolling Stones are like, oh shit, we got to follow that. And they knew that they were not going to have the buzz that James Brown just had. And the Beach Boys are great too in it.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool black and white. I believe it was a concert that was made for British audiences. And it's so good. And Bender directed that. He directed the '68 Elvis comeback special.
Oh, the comeback special. The black suit, the leather suit.
Exactly, black leather suit. How you doing, my boy?
I found out a lot of Bob Hope stories. I'm like, I got to tell Suntress someday. Not to be on the air.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Bob Hope. So
I like Dave Thomas has the best, sadly, like Bob Hope in his decline.
SCTV, yeah.
Well, yeah, but he really got to know Hope. And he went to his house. Yeah, he went to his house, and you can see my framed comic strip art and everything. He had like celebrity pictures all over the place, and he's like, "That's me and Neil Armstrong 3 days after he came back from the moon." And I just from the moon. All right, I can see him say that. Or he was playing golf with a bunch of current and former presidents, and he's like, "That's me with a bunch of presidents: Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, George Bush." And he gets to Clinton, and he's like, "I don't know who the hell that is." And he meant it because he was just getting old. I don't know who the hell that is.
Bob Hope. Hey, have you been watching The Right Stuff? I caught up last night a little bit.
I like it. It's not exciting.
No.
It's not exciting, but I like it because it's the space
NASA. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's good.
So I like it. I mean,
Not
no,
great. It's good.
the best sci-fi show on right now, of course, is Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
I love Ted Lasso. I just watched.
I know. I was so pleased that you were watching it. I haven't finished it, but I love it.
I love it. It's great.
I've been, you know, what a lot of these shows, I don't need to see. I don't need to go through the whole thing because then I'm like, oh man, I'm done, and now I can't like
Yeah.
Upload. I loved Upload. Or
Yeah,
Upload.
you liked it better than I did. I didn't like it.
I thought it was interesting, and
What's the comic book one?
I still haven't seen it. The one that's on Amazon.
Yeah,
I
Utopia.
still haven't seen it. Yeah, I think it's Utopia. Yeah, I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't seen
That
it.
and Mark Altman, who I was saying, great 50-year mission books.
Right.
Pandora looks great, and
What's that
Pandora
on?
very much is a Star Trekky kind of deep space ship crew kind of show.
That's Amazon.
It's CW. Amazon has.
Oh, you mentioned that before. Yeah, okay.
But it's actually a CW show, and I keep meaning to start watching it because I mean I caught a little bit of one episode and I'm like, this is good. And Altman being the massive Trek fan he is, you know, I trust him to make a good show actually. So
I know Supernatural ended. I never saw one episode in 15 years.
See, it's fun. It was fun. Wayne says Pandora is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's high praise. Much better than Discovery, so I might watch it now.
I watched that Wolves thing, Raised by Wolves on HBO Max.
I still haven't watched that. Is that good?
It's good. It's
Cool.
really Scott. The sets look cool. But
Good to know. Good to know.
I ended
All
up watching the old stuff.
Once again, we've exceeded the actual length of said episode.
This
Usually
episode-
we're coming in under. This is the first time we went over.
It's true. So we can wrap up. I think. Well, unfortunately, next Thursday, I'm going to be busy prepping for Black Friday, Black Friday, which is going to be a really fun event. And also, people, if you were watching or looking today for the Alex Ross live interview, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. We were able to record on Zoom a conversation, and I'll be posting that this weekend. But couldn't do the live one. I was really bummed. I was looking forward to seeing because it was happening at 2:00 Eastern time this afternoon, and I was really interested to see how it would play. You know, what kind of audience we would gather. But I'll get it to you. I promise. And yeah, next week. So Black Friday, I'm going to be prepping on Thanksgiving for that. That said, depending on how your guys' weekend is, could we try for maybe Saturday or Sunday to do next week's Discovery?
Sunday, I got to drive my kid back to Maryland to college. Saturday, I could do.
Okay.
Is there going to be a Trek next week? It's on Thanksgiving Day. I think
so. I think so. I mean, they said on the next, unless they're taking a week off. I don't know if they're taking a week off.
Did they do a break in between the season? Like you got to wait to. It's going to be right on.
Nope.
Oh, and I had no commercials again. 2 weeks ago.
I was going to ask. We had commercials. I had commercials.
No, I don't know what's going on.
This is like I told you during Lower Decks. All of a sudden, I had no commercials, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Whatever.
And actually, it's hard to watch when there's no commercials because they're like, "Oh, it's boring," and I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I hope I don't have to rewatch any of it that I missed something. No. Pause. Oh, and I didn't watch Ready Room. It's funny. Somehow
I still haven't watched it either.
No, it knows when I watch my Trek because when I'm done, I leave and I look on Facebook and it says a thing you watched is now doing a Ready Room live, and it's like sending me feeds. I go, stop following me, Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is,
Bezos
or whoever. Bezos, the richest man in the world, looks like Lex Luthor. All right,
I'm supporting his cause. I buy stuff from Amazon almost every day,
all the time.
It's true. I bought a Metropolis University sweatshirt from TeePublic.
There you go.
Debuting soon.
Do you have a special mask? Do you have an "Oh Yeah" mask, Franco? No. Did you get one made up? With the little character.
That's funny. I thought about getting one for Word Balloon. I haven't.
Yeah. I think Artie has some on his Threadless site.
Nice.
Yes.
That's cool. All right. Well, we'll talk next week and give you our thoughts on episode 7 of Discovery.
Think we'll like it?
Probably not.
I'm going to go with no.
It's a Burnham and Spock child flashback. Then I'm sure I'll be like, you know, another chunk of wisdom from Burnham Oh, I wouldn't be the character I am if it wasn't for you, Michael.
But if Cybox in the back of the room, you'll give it a thumbs up.
And I will be seriously, if it's, and especially if it's a good scene,
Yeah.
I'll give him a lot of congratulations because it's like that's what I want to see. Oh, here,
And then we could tell stories about the original Cybok when he would come into my parents' restaurant.
Next week, Stu. Oh, that Stu's got his own podcast. Is that live?
Stu. That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah,
Yes.
6:00. Nice.
Congratulations, Stuart. That sounds great. All right, everybody.
Oh, by the way, I eat a 31-year-old box of Batman cereal next Friday on the Mitch and Ed Excellent Adventure Show because we got 200 subscribers. Yay!
Congratulations.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but I have to open the box and eat it and hopefully not throw up and die on
Please
camera.
don't throw up and die.
I'm going to skip that episode.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good one.
We'll hear how it goes first, and then maybe we'll watch it.
31 years it hasn't been open. I hope a big rat doesn't fall out. Like I open the box and a mouse falls.
You got the 1 in a million prize box with a bat in it, and there's a dead bat and it falls out.
It's
Now
like
we know how COVID was originally.
That's what I was going to say. It's the cure for COVID. It's been sitting in a box for 31 years and shrink wrapped. And who knew? I'll come out talking like Robert Wool. Oh.
Looking for any final comments?
Yeah, the show sucks. That's about it.
Stuart says he was Describer 198 for your show, Mitchie.
Oh, thanks, Stu. Put me in the hospital.
We need a Burnham drinking game where we take a shot every time she disobeys an order.
Oh, we'd
be dead.
We'd be alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. Alcohol poisoning, exactly.
Pumping our stomach by now.
So, all right. That's enough. I think we're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Join us next time for Oh Yeah Trek Watch, Star Trek Discovery, a.k.a. What the fuck did they give us this week? Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.